G'day brothers, hope this one finds you all well. Not sure where this video is going to take us. Just waiting for my coffee to percolate, and I think it's just about ready. I guess an interesting topic to us men is women, and I was thinking about this before. I wonder how many men, or how many of you brothers out there really enjoy providing for a woman, or providing in general, providing to your woman and your whānau, your family, your friends around you. How many of you guys out there, and I'm genuine about this when I ask this question, enjoy going for a hunt, gathering some meat, cutting it all up, packaging it and gifting it to people you love, particularly your partner or your children, or going out fishing, filleting the fish and gifting that to people? I say that because yesterday I cooked up rabbit just down here beside where my rim fire is, and it was a big rabbit, a good rabbit for winter, and I gave some to Damo, and we sat down and Damo and I shared a meal together, some vegetables out of the garden, and I gave the rest, that's actually brewed, good, to a couple of friends of mine, Hilary and Margaret. And the feeling I got was a feeling that I don't think I could live without. It's just a natural, wonderful feeling to have, and I'm pretty sure that's something that all of us men have. Okay, here's the other thing, is a lot of women leave us men when we either get depressed or have some major health crisis, like a big one that threatens to take us, or if we lose our jobs and suddenly we financially can't provide. And I thought about that and tried to break it down in my mind as to why, and I think the first time you meet somebody and she meets you, she has this sort of romantic picture of what you're going to be and what she wants from a man, and you have a similar thing, you're attracted to her. Maybe it's just the beautiful symmetrical face she's got, or the way she talks, or the smell, or her hair, or her sweet smile, or the curve of her hip, might be her body, probably a lot of it's her body. But we have these things, and then we attach all of the things that we've learned about relationships, what we've seen with our own parents, what we've seen on Hollywood, and we bring this to the table, we mix it all up, and that's going to be our relationship. And so many times we find out down the track, oh, hold on, she's not who I thought she was, particularly when we can no longer provide, or we have a health crisis, or there's a breakdown on us, or we have a mental breakdown, and they bail. There's a very high percentage of divorce, it's like 70%, around when men have become depressed. What are your experiences, and what has been your solution to that? I haven't lived with a woman for a lot of years now. I enjoy my own company, and I run the risk of becoming an old fuddy-duddy, some old hermit that drinks his coffee and hangs out with his mates. And yeah, I haven't been in a living relationship for many years. I get on very well with my kid's mum. That aside, what about you? How do you see the world and where us men fit in? Because us men, we're taught to talk about our feelings. We're taught to show our vulnerability and say, I'm needing help here, I'm struggling. But you can understand why a lot of us men don't, because as soon as she hears that, she's often like, whoa. So I'm for this, guys, and this is off the top of my head, if I'm struggling or I'm going through a tough patch, I talk to my brothers. I wouldn't lay it all on my partner. I know that that's all a lot of you have got, but I'd be using my network of brothers around me first and foremost to build my strength, because in my own experiences, women do bail when the tough gets really going, and you find out who the bones of you are yourself when they bail on you, particularly when you've got bad health, or something which is life-threatening or something. That's when you really know who you are. Are you going to be able to survive it? Not everybody does. A lot of people turn to drugs, to alcohol, excessive gambling or more womanizing to try and fix it, but it doesn't really fix anything. It doesn't address the issue that you've got a broken heart, your heart's been broken, you're hurt, and you're also now really struggling without that support, that deep love that you can really only get from a woman. See, for us men, the first love we ever had in our life, a real love in the true sense, and love is an action, not a word. Saying I love you means nothing. It's showing you love somebody by the acts of love. That's by cleaning up their mess when they can't, holding their hair back while they're vomiting because they drunk too much, or giving them your last dollars because they didn't have anything, or extending yourself when you're exhausted to help them out, helping them shift flat when they're moving. There's a good one. When someone's moving, you find out who your mates are. Yeah, I can help you, buddy. These are the acts of love. So really, where we men fit in this big picture of this game, and it is like a game really, is we tend to want to tell our wives or our partners, hey man, I'm really struggling, I'm feeling really vulnerable right now, but there's another side which is a bit like the wolf that's got the hurt paw. He dare not cry because the other wolves will pack on him and kill him straight away. It's the nature, and I think amongst us men we should actually use men as a network and not lay too much or expect too much from our partners, because they need us to endure. They need us to stand up and endure, and we do need to endure. They don't want to see us get lost in the bottle or lost in a self-pity or a victim, us to become victims. They want to see us push on through, and even when we do that, they can still run a mile, and they do. Ultimately, we come into this life alone. We're born alone with nothing, we're naked, and when we leave, we're exactly the same. So all the stuff that we accumulate in this journey through our life, and that also includes the people we love, we lose all of it. So that person that you love right now, where there's a lot of love, there's also going to be a lot of pain one day. That's what happens. She's either going to walk out on you, she's going to die on you, or you're going to walk out on her, or you're going to die and she's going to be left alone. And that's what it has. Oh, my deepest feeling on that one is it's always better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. Women, we go to the end of the world for them. We want them to trust us, but we've also got to do things that builds trust with them. We've got to show them that they're cherished and that we love them to the end of the world. Anyway, where I was going with that was our first love in our life is our mothers. As little children, she holds us to her body, she feeds us from her breast, and that's what gives us life. Her first milk, the colostrum, is what's the building blocks for our immune system. In fact, we come out of her, and as we come out, we actually get covered in different types of, this is why cesarean births often later on have immune problems, because there's certain bacteria that come out when the baby goes down the birth canal, and that's actually what builds our immune system. And then of course the first bit of colostrum. So if a baby is cesarean birth and put straight into a oxygen tent, it misses out on two vital things. It misses out on the actual bacteria, the microbiome, and then the colostrum straight away. And if the doctors know what they're doing, they'll make sure they swab the baby around the mouth and nose with something from the woman's vulva, and they'll also make sure it gets colostrum. And they do that today. I think doctors are a lot more up than they were 50 years ago when I was born. I was born a breech birth. Caused a lot of pain to my mother. And then there's the other thing too, which happens with, and I've got friends like this, children that are adopted out. And if you're an adopted child and you're listening to this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's basically the primal wound. Our mothers are a most important, critical part to us. I have a brother who's adopted, and I think he does incredibly well since he's an adopted child. I think my mother, or my stepmother at least, did a great job, and my father, raising him, but anybody who's adopted out misses out on that initial first love with close contact with a mother. And to anybody that's adopted, I think you already are dealt a really harsh blow from the beginning of life, because that is one of the most fundamental, basic types of love to have is the love of your mother. The love that my mother gave me as a child was incredible. That'll do, Pace. Shut up. That's enough. It was amazing, incredible love, and it's seen me through all the hard times of my life. When I was going through a rough patch in my teen years, I'd think back to my mother's love. She was a very loving mother, a good mother. She still is. She's alive today, and I was very fortunate, and I'm very grateful for that. I think it's really an integral part to also how we have our relationships with women. If we have a good relationship with our mum, chances are we'll have good relationships with the woman in our lives, the women in our lives, because we don't ever just have one. Well, some of you are lucky you meet the right person off the bat, and that's it, your soul for life. If you're watching this and you're one of those men, then you're in a very tiny minority, but well done. And if you found the right partner, then man, look after that, because it's gold. I've lived alone, I don't know how many years now, it's over 10 years. I did live with my kid's mum, and I lived with another woman who's wonderful, still a very, very close friend today. I'm friends with my exes. I don't see any reason to not be friends. We got together because we liked each other in the first place. Why stop liking each other? And even women I've loved who have been unfaithful to me, we call it doing the dirty, but I don't see it as that. I see it that I was not providing something enough for them where they had to look elsewhere. So I don't hold nothing bad about that. In fact, I think putting a whole lot onto one person can be sometimes an unreal expectation. I think that us blokes need to be real. As a man, we need to learn to stand up on our own 2 feet and be alone for long periods of time. Take a woman for pleasure if that's what she wants as well. And you meet someone and you have an arrangement, great. I don't have that arrangement with anybody, but for men that do, more power to you. Or if you are okay living solitary and you're happy, great. You don't have to be with someone to be happy. Being happy is a thing that comes and goes. I think the joy in life is moments with people that you love, or people you've just met, special moments. Could be just a mate or a friend. And if you found that woman that's really like the golden girl that's living up to all your expectations, then man, you've found something I never found, because I've never found a woman that could give everything. I think that's unrealistic. My stepmother used to say she loves my dad warts and all, and I like that saying. And what she means by that is, for all his imperfections, she still loves him. I think someone that knows the worst of you and has seen the worst side of you but still loves you anyway, that's someone to be with. And I think somebody who doesn't try to change you and accepts you for just how you are and loves you for who you are and supports you for how you are, I think that's a great partner to have. Someone who has your best interest at heart, not just their own. If you've got a partner like that, then it's someone who's special. Someone who's selfless, and someone who you have a mutual respect for and they have a mutual respect for you. I look at my mate, and also my mate Pedro. They've both got fantastic partners, and they have this one thing that's really common in both their relationships, a very strong respect for each other. I see that with my father and my stepmother too. Very, very good relationships. Yeah. But the key thing is to also have a damn good relationship with yourself and your children and your mates around you, because they're all equally as important. They matter a lot. Anyway, I guess today I'm just shooting the shit while I'm having a coffee outside before the rain comes. It's cold, that's why I'm wrapped up with a possum on my head. In a reflective mood. I'm a little bit sad today. I'm a little bit sad because I'm still grieving the loss of my nephew, Mikhail. It's hurt my heart a lot, and it's good to be sad and it's good to grieve. And I'd say to any of you out there that are also feeling sad right now, go steady in your grieving and drop right into it. Don't try and block it. I've been having dreams about him. He was like a son to me in a lot of ways, and a lot of parallels with myself. He struggled with really bad mental health. His death was an accident. He drowned. My son nearly died trying to save him. And I've been thinking about him ever since he died, and today's been a sad day. In fact, I've had a lot of sad days as I go through this grief. I had it a year and a half ago with another young fella that tragically took his own life, and it took me a long time, and I still grieve him. That's part of our human condition. Grief is natural. And I say, if you're sad for anything, then be grateful that you can be here to be sad, because sad is a great time for reflecting, problem solving, crunching ideas, and making peace with the loss that you're suffering. People will say, chin up, be happy. Look, no. There's a time for everything, and happiness comes and goes. I've found lots of joy in today. There's been joyful moments. This is a joyful moment, sitting talking to you guys, having a coffee, feeling the heat of this fire. It's a joyful moment. I'm just telling you that I have been sad. We've got this crazy sort of thing that we're almost educated all the time, told to be. You've got to be happy, mate. Chin up. Come on, you're right. And what you're getting from that person is they're uncomfortable to hear that you're sad, or they don't feel good because it's reflecting the sadness in themselves, when they should in fact be saying, hey man, I'm sorry for your loss. If there's anything you need, I'm here, bro. You don't need to talk to people if you're sad. You need to have a conversation with yourself, or you might need to talk to somebody. But there's no thing you should do. You can just be sad. And talking is my way of always working through stuff in my own mind. So these are conversations when I have with you. I'm also not only having them with you, I'm having them with people I love, and I'm also having them with myself. And I hope you do the same with somebody or something. You might just talk to your dog. Fuck, I talk to my dogs all the time. And I know that because I've had the camera rolling, because I make videos, and I've left it on by mistake, and I've caught myself talking to the dogs. It's like, do I do that? And I'm talking this baby talk. Like, Poe, good girl Poe, good dog. She's only looking at me. I swear my dogs know what I'm saying and thinking. I swear they do. She's over there looking at me right now. I'll pan the camera around and show you. I can't believe she's listening, but she's listening and she's looking. I'll just do a pan right now with the camera very slowly around there. And I've just taken for a walk and just fed them. And I put some medicine on my dog Bigsy's nose, and look. There she goes. You good girl, Poe, eh? He's looking. You good girl, eh? She's sitting out in the kennel. Ah, it's a good dog. Good dog. Well, Bigsy's just beside there. He's going over the garden. He's got his head in the kennel. I've just given him some tucker. What you doing, Bigsy? He's got the cone on. What you doing, Bigsy? You good boy? Yeah, good boy. That's a good dog. That's a good boy, Bigsy. Good boy. I don't know if they recognise me with this bloody big hat on. I'm not sure. Good dog. Anyway. Hey guys, a pretty mellow video today. Pretty chill. Just sitting out here enjoying the coffee. I love it, eh? I love the old coffees. Gonna pop this down and turn it round. Won't be very good video because it's just a rough one off the top. But hey, that's really all I wanted to say. Thanks for joining the channel, and I hope your own sort of dreams and aspirations and challenges are all going all right. She's a bit crooked, the bloody phone, but it is what it is. Go steady and enjoy the coffee. I love these percolators. They're just awesome. It's a real ritual of making it, and I enjoy that. Just have a little ritual every morning or in the evening. This is actually decaf, so it tastes just like caffeinated coffee, but it means you'll sleep at night, won't keep you up. It's almost a reddy colour. Damo calls it cowboy coffee. Yeah. So we started this talk off about women and do you enjoy providing? That was the main question, and I'll finish up on that. If you're a man that is fortunate enough to have a partner who works and provides, and you're at home doing whatever you love, that's how my dad's been his whole life, or most of his life. He was a ranger for a lot of years, and then they moved up here, and my stepmother taught, and he worked from home. He built boats. He was very productive with his time. He helped raise my adopted brother, and he built the houseboat I've got. He built a ferry. He built lots of things. He didn't waste his time. He was very productive. But my mum worked, and he was happy, and they were happy. That worked for them really well. Are you a dad that's living home raising the kids? Man, that's a bloody hard job to do if you're doing that, and mum's out working, because it's an emotionally, it's a tough job. I've been a dad at home. We've been a solo dad. If you're that sort of dad, do you enjoy that? I would struggle. I did struggle with it. Are you a dad that actually is working from home on your computer? Are you a dad that's working for somebody else, like a company or like on a wage? What sort of a dad are you, and what is the joy that you get from being a provider? That's really what the theme was supposed to be about, until I went off on 1,000 different tangents. But that's something that I think is really key for a lot of us men. I can't think of a better thing to do, to go off, catch an animal, catch a fish, and then provide to someone else. And I also like growing stuff and providing that too. Gonna drink the coffee, so go steady, brothers. Oh, it's good, and I'll see you in the next Bro Check video. I try and do one of these most days because they're easy. It's not hard to do, and they're fun. And I enjoy reading your comments. Okay, I'll see you later. Go steady.